Despite Ohio University's reputation of being a party school, none of the pedestrian deaths in the last 4 years involved drugs and alcohol.
There are a few things every pedestrian should do before crossing the street. Wrestling, football, and soccer are considered high-impact sports. These athletes have a greater risk of being injured while playing. There will be a brief press conference today outside of Metro before members head down to Dallas to mourn the 5 officers killed in the ambush attack last week. Wrestling has the highest injury rate with an average of 13 for every 1,000 exposures. Here's one of the plaques that will be going down to Dallas this weekend. As you can see, it's pretty large. I'm about 5'4" on a good day, and it's about half of me.
You ready? Yeah, but you didn't jump.
We talked to Chief Pyle, and he said that the roundabouts and the Richland Avenue tunnel has helped immensely and has made it a lot safer.
Always be aware of your surroundings. That means looking up from your phone screen while walking. 3 of the 5 officers will be laid to rest tomorrow. There will be another funeral on Saturday, and the 5th officer's funeral arrangements have not yet been set. Even though a sport may only have a 5-month season, athletes are training and conditioning during the off-season, and some athletes only get a month off during the year to rest. Reporting live for Newswatch at noon in depth. Reporting outside the Metro Police Headquarters. Reporting for Newswatch at noon.
For Newswatch at noon in depth, I'm Tajah Smith.
Ohio University senior Megan Carbone recently witnessed a man being hit by a car outside her home.
I got off my bed and went out there, and over the balcony we saw this man laying in the crosswalk, and he was just kind of not moving. He was like curled up in a ball, and there was some witnesses, and we saw like there was 2 fire trucks and an ambulance and some cop cars. We were just standing there with like our hands over our mouths because I'd never seen something like that before. Would never want to have anyone have to see that. It was like very scary.
Unfortunately, Megan's story is not unique. One of the first things that parents teach their kids is to look both ways before crossing the street. So if so many people know to do this, why are pedestrian deaths continuing to rise? I sat at the corner of Court and Union, and within 5 minutes, counted more than 80 pedestrians crossing the road without looking first.
The people in front of me that crossed, I saw that they were just walking, so I just followed them. If I were to cross and my parents saw me and there was a car coming, they'd be like, "What are you thinking? Are you crazy? You know the rules. Like this is your, like we just know the rules." So I'd probably get yelled at.
There are a few things every pedestrian should do before crossing the street. First, look both ways. And most importantly, always be aware of your surroundings. That means looking up from your phone screen while walking. And if you're going to be out at night, make sure to wear bright colors like this or reflective gear. That way it's easier for cars to see you in the dark. Cyclists are also included in pedestrian deaths. If you're riding a bike, you deal with more risk on the road. City Council member and owner of Athens Bicycle, Peter Kostas, shares a few tips to keep cyclists safe.
I'll tell you, 80% of all serious head injuries can be prevented by wearing a helmet. So that's a big number. Also looking at the Ohio Revised Code, basically all the all the laws for the state of Ohio. Headlights, flashing taillights are required if you're traveling at night, and that's the best way to stay visible. Even running those lights during the daytime is also a good way just to get motorists to recognize that you're there.
Kostas is also a member of Complete Streets, a nonprofit coalition of public interest transportation organizations and professionals. Complete Streets conducts annual studies and sets guidelines aimed to create safer streets nationwide. But why does Kostas care?
The biggest thing that I feel a city is streets and people. All the streets are public right-of-ways, and that's the thing that everybody interfaces with every day. When you walk out your door, that's the first thing that you come in contact with. So I think if we can make those better, I think that the citizens get a better product. Complete Streets is basically a new way to look at road design. Currently, a lot of our road systems were developed in the 1950s, and now in order to make sure that all user groups, we're talking about buses, we're talking about pedestrians, cyclists, and single cars, what can we do to make those streets perform better and so that everybody can kind of integrate into that system in the safest possible manner.
In 2016, the group released an annual study called Dangerous by Design. They discovered on average 13 Americans were killed per day by car while walking in 2014. It found people of color and older adults are 50% more likely than younger individuals to be struck. And a list of the most dangerous states, Ohio was ranked 27th. A large part of the Complete Streets mission is to create safer conditions for pedestrians and drivers. Plans are currently underway to add an additional sidewalk to East State Street. Locals believe that it's necessary because of increased traffic in the area.
You know, sidewalk is part of an economic development plan. It's part of a traffic maintenance plan. It's part of an improvement plan. And so anytime we can establish a sidewalk in an area like that, I think we're doing the right thing. Director Stone from Engineering and Public Works has put a lot of effort into that project, and I think it'll be very rewarding for the city when it's done.
This is due to fast-moving cars and poor pedestrian infrastructure. But unlike most of Ohio, Athens and surrounding counties have had fewer pedestrian deaths in recent years, with Cuyahoga, Franklin, and Hamilton counties making up the majority. Ashley Rittenhouse from the Ohio Department of Transportation sheds light on why Athens County's numbers have dropped.
With our terrain and just the way it's laid out and the way that geographically the way it is here in District 10, we have some cities, we have Marietta, we have Athens, but there's not a whole lot of places for people to be out walking like there are in Columbus. And so that may be the reason why our numbers are fortunately not climbing as they are in bigger cities like that.
Trends continue to show that pedestrian fatalities are higher in metropolitan areas. Columbus, Dayton, Toledo, Akron, and Cleveland were all among the top 100 cities for pedestrian deaths in the U.S. for 2016. Dangerous by Design concludes that building roads to accommodate high-speed traffic comes at the cost of pedestrians, and that poor design puts pedestrians at a higher risk. Other factors include intoxication, time of day, and time of year.
So more people tend to be out and about walking during the warmer months. So that tends to be when those pedestrian fatalities do spike.
Rittenhouse also mentioned that about half of the pedestrian deaths in Ohio in the last 4 years involved drugs and alcohol. Athens Police Chief Tom Pyle says that Athens drivers are accustomed to looking out for pedestrians who are not looking out for themselves.
I really think that whether it's headphones and eyes on a cell phone at a crosswalk or late at night and people walking home from the bars, staggering a little bit, people driving in this town understand that there are a lot of young people walking in this town that aren't necessarily paying attention. And even as it is frustrating, it's part of the culture of driving or parking in the city of Athens.
And a final word of advice on how walkers and bikers can stay safe?
The same advice I would give to pedestrians is the same advice I would give to somebody who wants to protect themselves or harden themselves from being a victim of a crime. Keep your head up instead of down.
Here in the convo with Ohio's very own Kiana Black, and she's going to teach me how to do a 3. Let's get started.
Okay, so we're going to shoot it at the top of the key here. This is usually where you start off at because it's just straight on, so all you got to do is, it's the easiest spot to shoot. So when you shoot, you want to make sure you have your foot, your hip, your elbow, everything in line to the basket. So come right, scoot over a little bit, get in line with the basket. And when you shoot, you want to make sure you're straight and follow through kind of like you're trying to grab onto the rim. Yeah, there you go, you got it. And then when you shoot, you kind of want to shoot and then land a little bit before, like a little bit in front of where you started at, just to get that extra push.
So let's try without the ball first.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
And my arm is here. Everything should be straight.
Yeah.
How much do I bend?
Oh, it depends. It depends on how much you want to jump forward or not. I mean, you can bend a little bit, you can bend a lot. Well, you kind of don't want to bend too much because it kind of takes you out the shot. So just a little bend, but not too much.
Okay. And then I want to jump.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's try. Let's see how many times you dribble before or bounce. You ready?
Yeah, but you didn't jump.
Well, let's try again.
You got the basket?
Look at the basket. Okay.
Yeah. We're getting there.
We're closer. We're almost there. This is a lot harder than I thought. You make it look very easy, I will have to say.
It takes some work. It takes some work.
Okay. So how much work do you put in on your threes?
Shoot about 500.
500 a day? Wow. I'm hot doing like 3. I don't know how you do it. And I thought running was hard.
Oh, it takes a lot of work.
Okay. So if you got to critique my form, am I good?
Yeah.
Good?
Just get it higher.
Ooh, rim! We touched rim. Well, we hope you've already eaten lunch, and if not, get a snack, because this next story will have your taste buds watering. Former Athens County Sheriff Pat Kelly is expected to file an appeal today to a 7-year prison sentence. Corbin, lots of that engagement by students was aimed at the university becoming a sanctuary campus. What did you learn about the university's talks to potentially do so? And that does it for our final News Watch at Noon in-depth show this spring. Thank you for joining us. Reporting outside the Metro Police Headquarters. Reporting for News Watch at Noon. Reporting live for News Watch at Noon in-depth.
For News Watch at Noon in-depth, I'm Tajah Smith.